and welcome back to another Edith Noble video. I'm super excited for this week's video. It's kind of impromptu, but basically my dad's aunt and uncle, so we just call them aunt and uncle, are in from England, and basically they were missionaries in Africa, and my aunt, I guess she is an aunt, but my aunt is from England and my uncle is my grandma's brother. And so they're visiting us and they're staying with us for like 3 days, I think, something like that. And so I figured it would be really cool to do like an interview with them. And we're also just like having dinner outside, and we're gonna have a really fun night because we are going to do a little like watercolor workshop kind of thing just in our backyard. And we're going to do a campfire, so I figured I would vlog it and put in a little interview. So let's go. 1 to 2 step 3 step 4 she's everywhere. Alright guys, so we are here with my Uncle Russ and my Aunt Lynn, and I'm gonna ask them some questions which they haven't heard before. I didn't tell them what I was gonna ask them. So let's hear it. So what do you think inspired you to be a missionary? Like, when did you think this is what I want to do?
Well, for me it was when I heard God speak to me and say he wanted me to go to Africa, so that's what it was.
Pretty similar to me. When I was very young, I was interested in Christian missionaries and the stories they had to tell, and then I think when I was in college too, I felt the Lord speaking to me about telling others about Jesus in faraway places.
Next question. I had these written down, but then I didn't bring them out. I don't know why. What's the strangest place you've ever slept in?
Slept in many mud huts with grass roofs. Perhaps that's a bit strange, I can't think of. And sometimes we've slept outside under the stars, but I think we can do that here probably. It's wonderful to look up at the African sky and see the stars. And
one time in a house, think of one example of sleeping on the roof in Sudan in on a house, just on a metal bed up on the top of the flat roof of the house, and then looking at the expanse of this big sky and just enjoying that until I fell asleep. That was quite unusual.
What do you think the weirdest or strangest, most exotic thing you've ever eaten in Africa was?
One time I was eating with a couple of church leaders, and I was at their house, and they invited me to share a meal. And in Africa, when the woman brings the meal that's cooked by the women, it's on a big tray and it has a cover over it. So this woman came, she brought the meal for us, and I was sitting with 2 pastors, and the lady uncovered the meal, the food there, and what was in the middle of surrounded by sauces and bits of bread and so on, was the head of a goat. And it was just, of course, it was all cooked, and so we all had to share that goat, including the brains and everything that was there. That was probably the most unusual thing that I had to eat.
Yeah, that must have been pretty strange.
Yeah, it was.
I've eaten termites, but they're very nice. They grind up the termites, flying termites, and it's quite a nutty taste. But what I didn't like too much was the intestines. It looks like macaroni, but it's actually the intestines of the goat. It's more thinking about it than it is actually the taste of it.
In Sudan, there's a group of people called the Dinka, and they're a very big tribe in Sudan. And it was one time, well, not one time, many times actually, I had a Dinka milkshake. And it's made from milk because these people like that. They have their cattle and they love to drink milk, but they mix in their milk cow urine.
Oh.
And
that's an ingredient
it gives a very interesting flavor, and there's been a number of times when I've had my Dinka milkshake, and sometimes I try to hold my nose and drink it at the same time, but that was fun. I mean, to eat the food of the people and they give it to you as a gift, you want to share with them, even though you might cringe inside, say, is my stomach going to make this good or not, or will I be all right? But God knows, and we can just build relationships with people that way. Yeah.
So why don't, for those of you watching who don't really know exactly what a missionary does, why don't you explain like what all you were doing for the people in Africa, like where you were, and yeah, just like where you were and what you were doing.
Okay, well I'm a I guess you'd call it elementary school teacher by training. So I started off teaching children, African children from South Sudan. That was the country that I was in, South Sudan. And then gradually I went on to training primary elementary school teachers, and then we went into training teachers and developing courses for them, and then later went on to and we were doing this all under a Christian organisation that we were developing. And then later we started working more directly with the church to help adults learn to read in their language, particularly so that they could read the Bible in their particular language as those translations came out.
Yeah. Similarly for me, I studied as a teacher and taught in high school level initially, and then later on when Lynn and I were married, after we had met in Sudan and then we got married, we worked pretty much as a team doing similar work in the training teachers, primary school teachers, and then the literacy work, where we felt that was really important to, and people were very keen and interested on reading their Bibles. Many of them were Christians, and we felt as we trained teachers to teach others how to learn to read and write, that they were also learning more about the Bible as we did Bible studies or in our training courses with them. We would read the Bible together and talk about it, and it was a good way where we could help people be discipled and to grow in their faith, and they could then transfer this to others in their communities. So that was our main focus, through education and helping people to learn to read the Bible.
To add to that slightly is that we were in a land where there was a civil war going on, and a lot of children stopped going to school, teachers weren't in school, and so there was a growing up, a generation almost of people who never had any school or any education at all. So we particularly wanted to help adults who had never been to school, and particularly women, because so many women in the church now, they have become Christians but they cannot read, and they cannot read the Bible, so we were trying to focus particularly on them as well, and adults.
It's a good mission. So you were working in South Sudan, right?
That's right.
South Sudan. I think that was it. So I hope you enjoyed this interview, and now let's get on to the rest of the night and what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Met this girl down by the vine, had long tan legs and big brown eyes, seemed the type I would wanna make mine. She said, I can tell you're not my type, you're Mr. Wrong, I'm Mrs. Right, this could never be what you wanna be tonight. She said, don't you worry, don't you fray, I got 24 ounces of Bombay, can we work it out, you don't have to be alone. She said 9 to 5 I'm killing time, but 24/7, 365 might have to be where I feel your sunshine. 1 to 2 step, 3 step 4, she's everywhere out on the dance floor. She's everything you could ever want and more. She said, boy, these are the terms to play. If you hit and run, there is no way we could ever be what you plan to be. Said, girl, I set the record straight, I got shells of them, just go press play, we could spin it all.
Alright everyone, I hope you loved the video, and I hope it kind of informed you about maybe something that you haven't really learned about before. So I hope you loved it and enjoyed, and be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next video. Bye.